Hello. Hello, everybody. Sorry, getting a slow start here, as per usual. Damn it. I screwed up and left my tea bag in my mug, and now I don't have any real great place to put said spent bag, so that's pretty great. Oh, wait, hold on. There's a little dish right here. I'll put it there. Okay. Sorry to make you all put up with my ill-prepared bullshit at the beginning of this thing. It wasn't intended. The time kind of got away from me. I'm in the kitchen, like trying to make tea, and I look at the damn clock. I'm like, oh shit! So I have to rush and set up the laptop and etc. But welcome everybody to another live read on Saturday night here on YouTube. I'm Christopher Charles Robinson is my full name. I've said I use it I've said that I use my full name because there's a lot of Chris Robinsons. It's a pretty common name. Must have been a pretty I don't know. I used to say that at my middle school, if you walked out to the cafeteria at lunchtime and just said, "Hey Chris," like half the male students and probably 20% of the female students would turn around. I was born in 88, and yeah, I guess a lot of 80s Christophers, a lot of 90s Christophers too, or Chris's, or Christina's, or etc. etc. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I didn't really have anything prepared to say here, so I'm just going to wing it. Tonight, I'm going to be reading from Plastic Soul by James Nulick. It's his newest novel. It's his fourth novel, although he disowned his, or disavowed, or whatever you want to say, his first novel. But he is the previous author in order of publication of Valencia on 9 Banded Books, which is great, very easy to obtain, and I recommend you do so. It was my starting place with his work. Then he did the story collection, Haunted Girlfriend. I read him in publication order, and I would kind of suggest you do the same. Then there's his second novel, The Moon Down to Earth, and what I considered to be his masterpiece. I say considered because I think Plastic Soul is going to usurp that title, but both are very incredible novels. And then finally, his second story collection, Lazy Eyes. All these are great. The previous three are all published by Expat Press. And like I said, Valencia is published by 9 Banded Books. He also wrote this very unique and brief take on YA, Boy Crush. You can get that too. Get all of them. They're all worth your time. But tonight we're going to be focusing on his latest novel, which was issued in December by Fellow Traveler series. Man, this novel is a hell of a ride. Definitely gonna be in, I am guilty of overlooking a lot of sci-fi. It's never been something I'm like super interested in, either in film or in literature, but I love it when it's done. It's all about the writing for me. So like really it could be about anything, and if it's well written or written in a way that I find compelling, I will read it and probably like it very much. I don't have anything inherently against sci-fi. It's just not something I necessarily gravitate to. I would almost hesitate to call this sci-fi because it's easy to forget that it is at various points in the novel, one of which I'm going to be reading tonight, because a huge component of Plastic Soul is these deep dives into these characters' memories. And obviously their memories take place in a time that predates the world being depicted, in which cloning has been perfected to such a degree that it's like something that's, readily available if you have enough money. Uh, so, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna say too much about it other than that because I don't want to like spoil a whole bunch of things. I don't necessarily care about spoilers, but I know some people do. But I can say that the section I'm going to be reading tonight, and this is very serendipitous timing. Earlier today, Dennis Cooper, who needs no introduction from me, but in case one is needed, Dennis Cooper is an author of well-deserved renown, very prolific, famously wrote the George Miles cycle, also wrote a lot of other great books too. Wrong, the story collection was my intro to it and will always be one of my favorites. But also the Marbled Swarm, God Jr., The Sluts, My Loose Thread, I Wished, list goes on and on and on. Amazing author. But he's, also if he's got that wonderful blog he does where I've picked up so much from the Dennis Cooper blog over the years. But yeah, he featured Plastic Soul and a section from Plastic Soul specifically, which is right before the section I'm going to be reading. A little bit of context for this. How do I talk about this without saying too much about the plot? So there's this character, Joey Osbium. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And these are his memories. He's remembering a time in his childhood in which, in his teenhood, I should say, where he's hanging out with his friend Fernie. He loves Fernie. Joey does. Joey is gay, and Fernie is not. And so he knows that the love will not be reciprocated, but he can't help his attraction to Fernie. So he's straddling this balance between, it's his best friend, so he wants to spend time with him, but he's also coming into like his, sexual awakening. So it's awkward. It's got its awkward aspects because he's very, very attracted to his best friend, his straight best friend. So yeah, they're having a sleepover. They were watching Enter the Dragon and playing N64 and getting stoned and eating junk food. And they've just gone to sleep together in the same bed because Fernie's nice and isn't. He's like, yeah, Joey, why you don't have to sleep on the floor, man. I got this big bed, So yeah, he's in love with his best friend, and he's currently sharing a bed with him at the sleepover. So I don't believe in trigger warnings really, but just in the out of necessity of like not getting in trouble with YouTube or whatever, I'm not going to be censoring anything. I'm just going to say at the outset, if you are offended by erotic subject matter, you probably don't want to listen to this. If you're offended by same-sex erotic subject matter, you don't need to be here for this. There's I don't know. It's not it's really funny. There's some really funny stuff in here. And I'm glad I talked to James Nulick about this, or emailed him about this, and he said he found this section hilarious, and I found this section hilarious too when I first read it. But I don't know, I didn't know necessarily. I had a strong feeling it was meant to be humorous, but I didn't want to offend him and say like your shit made me laugh if it wasn't going to be intended that way. So I was very glad to hear that he did indeed. Or he was going for a comedic effect in some ways in in this section that I'm going to be reading tonight. But pardon the long-winded introduction. This is part of Plastic Soul Part 2. The book is written in 4 parts, each focusing on a specific character in relation to this world etc. This is part 2. The section is titled Brobot, and it's focusing on, like I said, the character Joey Osbium, or Osbium. I think it's Osbium. And yeah, this is a section dealing with Joey's teenhood, and like I said, his attraction to Fernie. So without further ado, I'm going to take a sip of tea, and then I'm going to get reading on this. I hope it was clear. So if you want more context to the lead up right before this, this section I'm going to be reading tonight, just Google search Dennis Cooper blog. You'll find it. It's the most recent entry on there, and it has, give you a little bit more context if you need it, or just furthering the story. I hope it tempts you to buy this book because I love this book and I want to see it sell well. James is one of my favorite contemporary authors, particularly American authors, but authors in general. I think it's pretty safe to say, because I read all those other ones I showed you and I love them all. And I love this one, and I think this is his best one yet. So yeah, without further ado, if you're following along at home, this is on page 187. I believe it'll be 187 whether you have the deluxe artist edition of this book or the regular Fellow Traveler series paperback. They're both paperback, but they just have different cover art. Yeah, this is on page 187, and all of these, it's divided. It has titles for the various sections. So this is starting at page 187, The Dream. And again, thank you for being here tonight, and thank you, James, for allowing me to read your work on here. I really appreciate it, dude. The Dream. I dream a coyote is chasing a sickly horse through the desert, sliding downhill after it with confidence, kicking up rocks and dust, stones rolling towards that horse, a warning, the coyote confident, knowing it will eventually overtake the horse. The horse knows it will die if the coyote catches it. I'm not sure if I'm the horse or the coyote. Perhaps I am both, maybe neither. In the morning, Fernie wakes me by pushing against my back while staring at me. His face hovers over me, his pinched lips funneling air over my face. Don't be a dick. We have a skate park with our name on it, sleepyhead, he says, laughing. I'll take a shower first, give you time to wake up. The towels are in the linen closet, the louvered door next to Melissa's room. Don't open her door by mistake, she'll kill you. Okay, I say, grumbling, pretending to be irritated. If only I could wake up next to him every morning. That is the real dream. I pretend to nod off until he leaves the bed, crawling over me, playing possum, peeking through half-closed eyelashes, watching him undress for the shower, snaking out of his boxer briefs, soccer balling them towards the hamper, grabbing a fresh pair from his chest of drawers, all done very quickly and without the slightest thought, as if he were alone in his own bedroom, the exposed dagger of his manhood, an exotic fruit priced just beyond my reach. My first thought at seeing him naked is comedic and unexpected. What if Melissa were to exit her bedroom at the same moment Fernie is standing naked in the hall? Sorry. Theft. Once I safely hear the shower running, the screeching of plastic rings dragging over sleeping metal, I jump out of bed, tear open my backpack, and shove Fernie's freshly husked boxer briefs in the bottom of the largest compartment, then cover them with his RVCA daggers, briefly wondering if he intends on wearing them to the skate park today, and guessing he doesn't. He put them on top of the hamper last night after kicking them off. Unless he wears dirty clothes? Then, knowing he doesn't, Fernie is too concerned with girls, cars, and cologne to wear dirty jeans. Temporarily insane due to my best friend's dirty pants and underwear stowed in my backpack, feeling like a perv but not enough to put them back, I strip to my boxers and shove mother's Catholicized pajamas over my fragrant loot, my own fresh shirt and pants extracted from the other compartment, carefully laid out on the bed like I'm totally normal. I zip my backpack closed, knowing it would never occur to Fernie to open it. I recline on the bed in my boxer briefs and socks, the perfect illusion of sanity, just a boy waiting for his best friend to get out of the shower so he can take one, so we can hit the skate park and bloom fresh pools of salt on our clean shirts. Just a couple of skaters with ribboned palms and scarred legs. At the teen center, they've got a snack bar, 2 foosball tables, 2 pool tables, an air hockey table, a ping pong table. My favorite is air hockey because I like watching Fernie get revved up. His eyes get darker when he gets revved up. Clicking the mallet against the table. You lost again. Red pebbled elbows scored on concrete. Blood sport. My elbows a living record of who I am and where I've been and how many times I've fallen. When Fernie comes from the shower, he's in a fresh pair of boxer briefs, red Calvins, vigorously rubbing a towel over his head, his hair usually imprisoned by a beanie or a baseball cap, though we're not allowed to wear hats in school. We look like we could be brothers, our curly hair and almond eyes, our ethnically indeterminate faces, our strange names. Though my name is even less common than Fernie's. With Fernie's name, you can hang an idea around who he is. Not so with me. Osbium. Is that Greek or something? Something like that. And the other kids at the skate park often assume we're brothers. Your brother's pretty good on the ramp, bro. Yeah, he is. And when someone assumes I'm Fernie's brother, like the girl at Biodome or Mr. 7-Eleven, Fernie never corrects them, which somehow makes me cooler because his coolness rubs off on me. Move like a boy. All right, man, the shower's all yours. Hold on, I gotta go because he writes it in vernacular, so it's not shower, it's chower. I knew I was gonna fuck that up. Move like a boy. All right, Ming, the chower's all yours. And hurry up, man. We got to get to the skate park before all those little street rats crowd the ramps. I try to act normal, but sometimes I wonder if I come across too girly. I try to move like a boy, walk like a boy. I watch how other boys my age walk, and I imitate them. Sometimes I lie in bed at night and pray to God, who doesn't seem to listen or to care. Please, God, make me a straight boy. I am a straight boy. I am a straight boy. I hate myself. I hate being a faggot. Growing semi-hard, knowing what I plan on doing with Fernie's underwear, Fernie's pants, when I'm alone in my bedroom, much later. Hating myself, feeling like a total weirdo, betraying my best friend's trust, learning something about him that he doesn't know about me, like I have a hold over him, like I know something about his body, and he has no idea, knowing it's wrong, looking into his eyes, wondering if he can see the darkness in me, wishing I wasn't like this. And yet, like a criminal with a mindset aflame, a jewelry store heist enlarging my heart, there is absolutely nothing I can do about it. Grip tape. Fernie never discovered his pants and underwear were missing, or if he did, he never mentioned it. If one of my favorite shirts or pants came up missing, I'd definitely know it. But maybe that's because I'm a fag and I love my clothes so much. Fernie doesn't seem very attached to his clothes. He's always getting new clothes, then shredding them on the pavement. But the RVCA daggers, I know he def likes those because he's always wearing them. Maybe it's just easier to put on the same pair of pants every day. He could have blamed his mother for losing them. I would blame Miss Clearfield, that nosy old hag with raggedy ass gray hair, harsh as a soapy Brillo pad, an old woman who has seen me more than once naked as a child. As I got older, maybe 13 or so, I told her I could wash my own clothes. But what about your homework, your studies? Her accent thick, foreign, old fashioned, a scarecrow filled with mothballs, wearing an ancient dress. She always wore the same old lady perfume, but to me she reeked of death and loneliness. I'll wash my own clothes, thank you. I didn't want her seeing the stains on my briefs, jerking off every chance I got, my dick perpetually hard, jerking off while Nicole was asleep in the bunk below me, jerking off before school, jerking off after school, and later, when Fernie began driving his fine German sedan, a black-skinned BMW M3, jerking off before he picked me up for school, finally allowed to wear the boxer briefs mother had forbidden for so long. I was maybe 16 when I finally said goodbye to mother's old-fashioned whitey-tidy old man briefs forever. My boys finally paroled, free to be as criminally minded as they wanted to be. Hey bro, what kind of boxers do you wear? Asking Fernie after school. In his car, the stereo cranked to 100. Why, fag? Chill out with the gay shit. Dying inside at the thought of Fernie thinking I'm a fag. No, man, I just want to know so I know what to buy. My mom said I can buy regular boxers now. No more old man underwear. It's it's about time, man. You've been dressing like you're still in fourth grade with that old ass underwear I can see every time you're ramping. They're so they're so dirty old. They're like grip tape. You're all Salvation Army and shit. Just tell me, Jesus. I don't need a breakdown. I like boxer briefs to keep my boys controlled, like on days when I'm wearing tighter pants. But then I like old school boxers too, like the old man kind you can hide a set of golf clubs in. Those are for days when I'm just chilling around the house or doing chores and shit. You have both kinds? Yeah, man, variety is the spice, right, bro? Yeah, but what brands? I like Diesel a lot, so maybe try those, bro. Chef's hat. I became human after I bought a 2-pack of Diesel boxer briefs, one white, one black. The boxer briefs are definitely gayer if you have a dick. Like if I'm in my bedroom and I'm only wearing boxer briefs, I immediately get this urge to start jerking off. I also jerk off before riding my Sobrosa to the skate park with Fernie, showing off a quick round in the commode, or shooting off a quick round in the commode, so I'm not constantly thinking about him as he's riding in front of me, like he always is, his butt in my face. It's nice not having to think, shooting before riding and wrapping a couple Kleenex over the head so I'm not oozing baby stain on the ramp, giggling at my chef's hat when I'm back home in the safety of my own bedroom. Nicole at university, nuzzling her dumb boyfriend. I'm lying in her bed with my boxers pushed to my knees, summoning my best French accent, waving my magic wand with the Kleenex still attached, my brown Buddha strolling through the swinging kitchen doors. Deez is. God, I knew I wasn't going to be able to read this part with a straight face. Oh, God. Oh, I'm gonna butcher this so hard, but this is so funny. My brown Buddha strolling through the swinging kitchen doors. This is what you do all day. It is not healthy, young man. You need a girlfriend. I need a sip of tea after that shit. It's just so fucking absurd. I love it so much. Okay. All right. Deep breath. We're going in for more. Okay. Nowhere you'd know. After shower, I pull my pants on in the bathroom because I don't want to sport another diving board around Fernie, crab walking sideways to avoid detection. But Fernie doesn't seem to notice my stealth mode. Hey, bro, what shirt are you wearing to the skate park? My Santa Cruz shirt. The homemade tank with the armholes? I love that shirt. What about you? Oh, I'm sorry. What about you? My Dippin' Dots shirt, in case any ramp rats want a free sample of my tasty balls. You're crazy. Bro, isn't that shirt like ancient? Yeah, but it's sexy, and that's all the girls care about. Hey, we should pull the old switcheroo at the park and change shirts. Are you taking your backpack? Nah, I'll just pocket my one hitter for stealth mode. We won't get in trouble, will we? I'm not going to be smoking on the ramp, dumbbell. It's for afterwards. Fernie shines his knuckles on my hair. Clank, clank, clank. Is there anybody in there? He says, laughing. Fernie wears a fresh pair of black dickies to the skate park. I wear my black dickies too, twins with razor wire hair, me sporting a Santa Cruz homemade tank, armholes scissored by me, hemline scissored by me for air conditioning. Fernie wearing an old Dippin' Dots shirt from back when he worked there last summer. 4 hours of solid ramping. I fall off my bike at one point and crunch my right hand, my fun hand, my pinky kind of twisted and bleeding. Look, I sustained an injury. Poor baby. You all right, man? Snack bar flirting, Fernie sweet on some girl with big frizzy orange hair who smells like coconut. I'm chatting with a Mexican girl I don't recognize as I shake off the pain. My pinky, my entire right hand, numb. She's definitely not Archbishop Murphy. She has a nice body hidden beneath a weird uniform. Her body half pint Coke bottle like the classics, but I'm not interested. Slyly watching Fernie through stoned eyelashes as he rocks his Sub Rosa Salvador back and forth in time with Coconut Girl's voice. The black cloth of his pants blooming at the kneecaps with each roll. His psychedelic Dippin' Dots shirt kinda gay in the harsh sunlight. I'd def look gay if I was wearing it. And suddenly I feel like an intruder, like I should leave them alone, intensely relieved when Half Pint suggests we hang near the bleachers. Are you okay? Yeah, I'll be fine. Just another battleground scar. Laughing. I walk my bike beside her as we make our way to the bleachers near the snack bar. I slow my roll so she can keep up. A perfect gentleman. And if she asked me to take her to 7-Eleven, I'd let her hop on my buddy pegs, pretend she is my girlfriend, like I'm a normal boy. But it's only a fantasy, and the bleachers is our destination. You want another Coke or something? No, I'm good. Thank you, though. Her eyes heavy lidded under a hot diggity baseball cap. You work there? Are you the mustard girl or something? No, my brother used to. He works there? Immediately cataloging the information. He used to, immediately uncataloguing it. What's your uniform? Pizza Belly. The pizza parlor? Yeah, that's cool. I don't have a job just yet. We're just chillums till summer's over. Is that your brother in the Dippin' Dots shirt? Yeah. You look like twins. Are you still in school? Yeah, I'm a senior next year. You? I'll be a senior next year too. Where do you go to school? Archbishop Murphy. You? Nowhere you'd know, she says, laughing, and suddenly her tongue is in my mouth, pushing against my tongue. A serious game of tonsil hockey under the bleachers, the metal cathedral above us ringing in our ears each time a kid stomps on it. And I am relieved to not have to make a decision. Relieved she made the first move. Relieved a beautiful girl finds me normal enough to kiss. Life comes very fast. I don't like Mondays, but they don't mean anything during summer vacation. Mother, is it okay if I get a summer job? Heavens no, Joseph. Why? If you're bored, you can work in the garden with me. You'll be working soon enough. Life comes very fast, my beautiful boy. Is Fernando Navarez filling your head with nonsense? It has nothing to do with Fernie. I just wanted something to do, something away from here. Absolutely not, Joseph. You will be working soon enough, and you need to focus on your college entrance exams. You really should have focused on it last year, but here you are, young man, with senior year approaching, and you are still unprepared. You'll never make law school like this. I will too, mother, I say, pulling her close to me, kissing her on the forehead. Joseph, what is that egregious odor? You reek of cheap perfume. I met a girl at the skate park this afternoon, Mom. Oh, dear God, Joseph, do not get some idiot girl pregnant. This is it, isn't it? Yeah, this is it. All right. All right. If you were made uncomfortable by any of the previous stuff, this is where it gets real wild. I'm just preparing myself because I have to read this all with a straight face without cracking up. This is so it's so funny. It's just so funny. You'll see what I mean in just a moment. This is funny, absurd, surreal, deeply strange, erotic. So much else. So much else. I'm sure somebody somewhere has done this exact thing. It seems like something a horny teenager would do, for sure. If anyone was going to do it, horny teenager with unrequited love for his best friend. I could see it. All right, y'all. Pillow Boy. Just reading the title has me chuckling, knowing what's coming. Apologies. Okay. Serious face. Steely resolve. Sorry, if you're just joining, we're reading from Plastic Soul by James Nulick. It's a fantastic book. I'm almost done with it. I'm sad to say. It's going to be one of those books I finish and want to reread pretty much almost immediately. I can just feel it. Been going slower with it than I would ordinarily do. Just like going back and rereading sections. It's great. And I've been trying to slow my pace with it. But I don't know. No matter what I do, I'm going to want to read it again. That's just the nature of the beast. Anyhow, Pillow Boy. I said goodbye to Fernie hours ago. We never finished watching Enter the Dragon, which usually happens when one of us stays over and we get stoned. I saw that Mexicali girl you were with. Very nice, my brother. I guess you're not gay after all, giggling at my stupefaction. Bro, I'm totally in love with you. Blow me, Fernie says, laughing. I'll see you tomorrow. Want to hit the skate park again? Maybe. Maybe we could finish watching Enter the Dragon or something. We bump knuckles, exploding fingers noise, and lobster claw each other. Laters, Fernie says, his icy cool nature totally natural, unlike mine. I'm a total poser. I foot roll to the back door, quietly hauling my sub rosa up the stairs, careful not to mar the carpet. Mother would kill me. She's only just started allowing me to keep my bike in my room. Make sure to take a shower, Joseph. I will, Mother. In my bedroom, I drop my backpack to the floor, toe off my Vans, shuck my Dickies, and UFC them across the floor, Fernie style, then pick them up and drop them in the hamper. Mother's well-trained boy. I pull my shirt over my head, the room disappearing for a moment, bike rash and asphalt alligators blackening my shirt with each fall, the ramp displacing any good posture Mother may have paid for. Wearing only socks and boxers, I make my way to my backpack, unzipping her mouth, deep-arming her velvety throat like a veterinarian, digging through her belly, extracting Fernie's stolen fabric. Quietly locking my door, softer than a mouse click, retrieving my hampered Dickies, expertly rolling them into a smoke snake, cracking the window open a few inches, grabbing my Fix-A-Flat off the top of the nightstand, loading a fresh one-hitter, reoing the lights to near dusk. Okay, a little bit of context here because that might have been confusing. So earlier, it's revealed that he has a fake it looks like a Fix-A-Flat can, like you'd use to fix a tire. But it's hollow on the inside, and it's like a stash box, so he can keep his weed and his one hitter in there. And a smoke snake, which this is the first time I have ever heard of it referred to as a smoke snake. That's the perfect way of putting it. I don't know what the hell we called it when I was a teenager, but that's when you take like a towel or like any long piece of fabric and kind of make like a long tube of it. And the clearance between a door and the floor, you just stick it in there so that if you're smoking weed, the smoke smell stays in the room instead of going out into the hall. So your mother or your nosy sibling or what have you could smell it. It's not entirely 100% effective, but it is something you can do, and something I did as a teenager. Not really at my own house because my mother was she's a lovely lady, but I did not want to upset her that badly. And she had a very keen sense of smell, so I know she would have smelled it a mile away. But at other people's houses, smoke snake. And we'd sometimes take a water bottle and cut the end off and stuff like dryer sheets in there and spray like cologne and stuff in there. And then you take a hit and you blow it through that and cover the smell that way. That was quite effective. Although you end up like the room just, instead of smelling like weed smoke, it smells like a bottle of perfume or whatever exploded in there. So it's still kind of conspicuous. It just doesn't smell like weed. But anyway, so that's just so you know what he's talking about with the Fix-A-Flat can and all that. I don't have a roll top like Fernie. I keep my pipe, mini grinder, and one hitter hidden in a Fix-A-Flat stash can I bought at Biodome. Oh, I forgot. That explained it anyway. So sorry. Pardon that unnecessary explanation. I keep my greenery in a 100 milliliter purple infinity jar I bought online. The Fix-A-Flat stash safe looks totally real. And I have a bike, so, Mother never comes into my room. But just in case, I turn on the star projector Mother bought for me and fade under the push-pinned stars. 5th grade at St. Catherine's a lifetime ago. Each star slowly dying after Nicole left, my quicksilver double. I have no idea what I look like without her. Cinnamon is on my bed. I gently push her with my foot, which usually works. Go lay on your bed, girl. Cinnamon, go lay down. I foot her again, but she is stubborn, nudging my sock with her nose, only moving slightly, closer to the edge of the bed. I wonder if she has any idea what I'm doing. My audience of one. You're a dirty girl. I roll on my side, spreading Fernie's boxer briefs on my blue comforter, the comforter draped over Nicole's marshmallow quilt. My bed is super soft, like a fortress against everything outside my window. I can disappear in it and come out only if I want to. I could spend my entire life in my bedroom, and I'd be okay with it. I keep my sister Nicole close to me with her marshmallow quilt and her abandoned pillows, her pink panda bears, her caramel teddy bear, her Hello Kitty plush, her Fallout Boy poster on the wall, all the things she left behind when she went away to university because she didn't want to look like a baby. Her bunk, now my bunk. Is it cool if I move down to your bunk? It's easier for Cinnamon to get on your bed. Of course, baby brother. Why would I mind? I miss you. Mother is so weird now. Like, she treats me more like a statue than a person. I miss you too. Don't worry about it. Mother has always been like that with you. I kind of regret I didn't stick up for you more. You'll be here soon with me. Your last year of high school will go by so fast, it'll be like it never happened. How's Archbishop Murray? How's Fernie doing? Archbishop sucks. He's good. He's still crazy. It was one of our last normal conversations. I sometimes pretend she never left, and now I have a piece of Fernie with me, to keep a part of him with me forever. I roll on top of Fernie's briefs, which I've turned ass side up, grabbing my pillow while dry humping them, pretending my pillow is Fernie's back. I'm wearing a white pair of diesel briefs, and already I feel like I'm about to bust, but I don't want to just yet. I want to keep yo-yoing. I take another puff off my one-hitter, filling my head with smoke. I thumb my boxers off and pull Fernie's underwear over my face like a ski mask, tonguing the fabric, totally lost in the magic of his body, his skin a permanent image embedded in the camera of my mind, pushing my tongue through until I reach eternity. I stop, not wanting to come just yet, and pull his RVCA daggers over one of Nicole's abandoned pillows, her pillow magically becoming his butt. I wedge the pillow into his pants until they're totally filled, cinching them to pull the zipper. Grabbing my Nirvana t-shirt from the closet, I pull it over the top of Nicole's pillow, Fernie's torso, his back appearing in my hands like a rabbit from a hat. I turn pillow Fernie over on his belly and push his head down, take another hit of greenery, and whisper dirty words to him, pulling him close to my naked body, socks only, pushing myself deep into everything I have ever wanted, my body fading into eternity. Shh, baby, you know you like it. Oh my God, Fernie. Oh God, that shit just cracks me up, man. Oh my God, the image of it is just so absurd. I love it so much. All right. I'm sorry if anybody was made uncomfortable by that, but uh, despite, or maybe because of the inappropriateness, I find it highly amusing. Even aside from the highly amusing part, it's beautifully written. There's just some like beautiful descriptions in there, um, and beautiful turns of phrase. And I hope I'm doing it justice because long parts of this section are these long cascading, run-on sentences like um, comma, 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 and like very few uh, full stops. So it's very easy to read quickly. There's a lot of that in this book, and I'm resisting the urge to do what I usually do when I encounter writing like that, which, if I don't see full stops, I have a tendency to, kind of go through it faster. Laszlo Krasznahorkai is like a perfect example of that. Like he's just, I mean, he has whole books that are um, one sentence. You know what I mean? And I just have a tendency to race through them because, like, you know, my brain is not seeing full stops, so I'm, you know, going through it. It's one of those formal things that, like, when I first encountered it, I forget what I first read that was like that, but I was like, oh, this seems like it seems like it would be harder to read or whatever. And like maybe in some ways it is because it's kind of hard to find a stopping place sometimes. Not so with this book because it's all these discrete sections within these bigger sections. Um, but yeah, uh, it's not, as it turns out, a struggle for me. The real struggle is knowing that I can slow down and reminding myself that I can slow down and read it at, what I would define as an ordinary pace instead of like the fevered pace that I'm reading it at, when I'm having to remind myself of that. Um, I'm not a fast reader by nature. I'm actually very slow. I'm just saying, like, if I don't see full stops, like, and I'm not thinking about it and like not actively reminding myself to slow down, I'm gonna go through it too fast. That's just the nature of the beast. So yeah, this is all just to say I'm having to remind myself to slow down with this and take more time and take a more leisurely pace and like because I don't know, this is despite like the dystopian aspects and like the weirdness of it all. Like this is a book that I kind of want to be inside of for as long as I can. And like I said at the outset, I know it's going to be the kind of book that I go back to and revisit in the future, most likely a number of times. Sorry, all the books I haven't read yet, but I am a rereader. I like rereading. If I have a favorite, I'm gonna if it's really a favorite, I'm gonna reread it. And just so you know how serious about that I am, I read Proust, Remembrance of Things Past, or In Search of Lost Time, whatever you want to call it. I read it twice in 2 years because of how much I liked it the first time and how serious I am sometimes about rereading and just not resisting the urge to reread. So uh, that's not a brag. I just so you know how serious I am about rereading. It was a massive time commitment both times, but damn it, it was fucking worth it. Uh, and this is all just to say, also, aside, Proust is not particularly challenging. Despite the length, it's very easy to read and it's a lot of fun. And if you've been putting it off because you're scared of the length of it, don't be scared of the length of it, read it. And additionally, if you've been putting off James Nulick, if you're aware of James Nulick and have been putting him off, I hope this gives you enough of a tease to want to read this book in full and get it in your life. Um, I've seen him referred to elsewhere as a writer's writer, and James is right. That generally means your contemporaries admire your work, but you don't sell many books. I'd like to see James Nulick's work appreciated in his lifetime, and I'd like to see it not be the case where an author eventually like ages and dies and then people find their way to his work. I want to see him appreciated in his lifetime because I think he's a remarkable writer, and his books have given me so much entertainment and joy and sorrow. Yeah, without sounding too gushy about it. And just to recap, just to hype him again, Valencia. This was like, his first novel that he'll still acknowledge. This beautiful piece of work. 9 banded books published that. Haunted Girlfriend, really cool story collection. Expat Press. The Moon Down to Earth, which before this one, I think was his masterpiece. It's still a whatever. It's going to be a tie because I love this book. This is a gorgeous book. The Moon Down to Earth. Also, if you like Leaf by Leaf, he did a video on The Moon Down to Earth. And it's really good. You should watch it, and maybe that'll give you some additional incentive to pick it up. Because if Chris Villa says it's good, it's generally pretty fucking good. And Lazy Eyes, another story collection. This one with like more of an emphasis on like horror aspects, scary, disturbing, twisted, all the adjectives. And then he also did Boy Crush, which is a very short, with photographs also, kind of YA book. And then finally, here we are at Plastic Soul. Start anywhere. Start with this one. Start with Valencia. I started with Valencia. Just read James Nulick. It's really good stuff. Tyler, I would say it's best to start with Valencia, just because it's, I don't know, there's aspects of Valencia that show up in the later works in various ways. There's definitely key scenes in Valencia that get hearkened back to in the later work, usually from like a slightly different angle. So it's interesting in that regard. I generally prefer to read an author in publication order, and I generally recommend that it be done that way. It's not essential, but I would recommend doing so. Valencia is a very personal book. It feels like a very personal book. I get the impression that it's not, that there's like lots and lots and lots of aspects that are not fictional. So they show up in the other. Yeah, Malcolm, I'm glad you're reading Valencia and enjoying it, man. It's such a beautiful book. And like, oh my God. I mean, there's some really funny stuff in there, but there's some like really raw heartbreak in that book. And he just writes about it so, so, so beautifully. Yeah, just thinking about it now makes me want to reread it like right now, but I can't because I'm not in the middle. I'm about to wrap up Plastic Soul. As sad as that is, I only have about 50, 60 pages to go, something like that. I'm trying to make it last as long as I can, but yeah, I don't know. He's underrated, that's for sure. Or not even underrated. I mean, like he's well reviewed, but like, I don't know. I want to see more people reading him. It would just make me happy if that happens. So if you take my recommendations seriously, if none of that offended you, if none of what I read on the previous one of these like offended you or made you totally uncomfortable, there is always going to be some discomfort with James Nulick. There's some troubling stuff in there, but it's beautifully written. It's always beautifully written, even as extreme as it sometimes gets. It's gorgeous writing, and it deserves to be appreciated in its time. So, yeah, that's my plug. Do what you will with it, but yeah, if you end up picking up any of James Nulick, not just the new one, and want to talk to somebody about it, please feel free to holler at me. I'm active on Instagram as Big Hole HNW. You can find me there. I'll put it in the chat in case anyone just wants it easily. That's my handle on Instagram. You can come find me. I respond to messages. If it's about books, I'll talk about books all day, man. Let's do it. But yeah, thank you all for being here. Once again, this has been me, Christopher Robinson, reading Plastic Soul by James Nulick, published recently back in December of 2024 by Fellow Travelers series. You can find it. Just search, literally, just Google Plastic Soul James Nulick. It'll be one of the first things that shows up. It's really easy to order. The shipping's really quick, really reasonably priced, beautiful editions. And they're a really cool press. The way they function is really cool. Read more about their story. I'd really encourage you to, because it's a really cool model of what a small press can do, and the things they do for their author. I think they're just really admirable press. Really, really cool. They publish all over the world, and they keep all kinds of stuff that would probably fall out of print, or fall by the wayside, or just they're doing the good work. So thank you, Fellow Travelers series, and thank you, James Nulick, for continuing to write things that make me react this way. Anyway, I've wasted enough of y'all's time with my rambling. Thank you for being here for the reading. Anyone who saw any of it, I really appreciate it. And yeah, support the authors. And I'll see you next time for the next one of these, probably next Saturday. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you for being here. Thanks, everybody. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your weekend, wherever you are. And we'll talk soon. Alrighty. Bye-bye.